Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What's more important to you, the cover of the comic book or the interior pages of the comic book? What keeps you around? Do you read the comic books you buy or do you just buy for the cover? Now, I'm asking because this issue is issue 2 of my series Shinju Universe. And my friend Alexandria Monic did the cover. She's a phenomenal artist. Probably already follow her on TikTok and Instagram and stuff because she's incredible. And she spent about 10 to 12 hours on this cover. A lot of time. And it really, it shows. But the interior pages, the interior of the book, this book is 2 8-page stories. And I spent over 400 hours on it. And I'm curious, do you read it? Because as I'm watching on YouTube, people are always talking about this iconic cover, this great cover. Oh, it's got this book has 7 different covers, but no one seems to talk about the interiors. No one seems to talk about the actual story inside. So do you read the books you buy, or are you buying them strictly for the cover? I'm just curious because I want to show how long it takes to actually create a 16-page book. So not even getting to the graphic design part. That's a whole nother beast in and of itself. But Nick is the penciler of the story, of this first 8-page story. And he spent about 8 to 10 hours penciling each page. So 8 pages, 8 to 10 hours. It will just say 70 hours right there. So all of these pages were inked digitally in Procreate. And thanks to Procreate, it tracks how long you spent working on it. And page 1 here, it took me 13 hours and 17 minutes to ink. Page 2 took me 7.5 hours to ink. Page 3, a little bit easier, but all these little details back here, look at this. All that cross-hatching, and that's all done. It's not a stamp. It's not like a rough texture brush. It's actually me going in and doing all the, with a, like a dry brush type thing. This page, all right, 5 hours. Take that. And then this one again, lots of dry brush texture in the background. All this cross hatching is done one stroke at a time. And then like all of this, it's kind of, I know I'm a colorist, so I kind of did cover it up with the coloring. Same with the textured background here behind her. As you can see, I didn't do the panel borders in Procreate. I don't know how to do good, crisp, sharp panel border lines in Procreate, so I just do it in Photoshop. All right, so we got 10 hours on this page, and then 7 hours. And I really thought this page was going to have a longer draw time because all of this cross-hatching was done individually. I did each block one at a time. You see how I did the panel borders in this one, but I didn't use them. I wound up, because see how they're fuzzy? I think it shows up. They're fuzzy, and I just didn't, whatever. But yeah, all of this cross-hatching was done individually. And then I spent 22 hours on this page. What? Okay, wait. So the new issue of my comic book is 16 pages. And 1 page of the story took me 22.5 hours just to draw. And it probably took me another 10 to 12 to color 1 page. That and lettering probably took me 2 hours. Nah, probably not. Probably took me like an hour. Nah, no, probably took me like 30 minutes. Honestly, the balloons are already pre-done and everything, so it's whatever. So of this 16-page story, this 1 page took me about 35 hours for 1 page of a 16-page book. I didn't know it was that long. I had absolutely no idea. I thought it was, all of these were like, see, 8 hours. That makes sense. 8 hours. And this last page for this story, you see in coloring, I just blocked it all out because it didn't look, I thought it lost the depth. And then 7 hours, say. So for just the first 8 pages of this 16-page book, I spent 80 hours inking it, and then another probably 80 hours coloring it, and then probably 2 to 3 hours lettering it. Just the first story. The second story, I'm the penciler, the inker, the colorist, the letterer. I did everything myself. So the first page took me 6.5 hours, but if you look, I just reused the same panels and just drew her eyes over. So I kind of saved some time there. Work smarter, not harder. Page 2, 11, we'll say 11.5. And again, silhouettes sped things up, but page 3 is... So I originally was going to have more going on here, but I thought it was better to not show it. Now leave it up to your imagination. I thought it worked better in the end because I was going to show her face getting beaten and swollen up, and it really, I'm glad I went with the direction I did. I think it's more effective. All right, and then here we have 3.5 hours. I did make her bald for a reason. And again, this page, I cheated. I just reused the whole background from page 1. Yeah, 3 hours. I just reused obviously. I just reused that and then just zoomed in, traced over to make it look better. I really, really struggled on this page here because I had no idea how to effectively draw the transition, showing that what we've just seen is basically an implant placed by Nikati, and how she was transitioning back to the real world. And of course, when I did the lettering, the friggin' lettering was off and didn't line up, and that was super happy to see in print. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Then 8.5 hours. And the majority of that was just, I drew the fence lines there by hand. The fence line here, obviously, I edited in Photoshop to make it much, much easier on myself. Because again, I was the colorist. And the last page here, 9 hours. So 45.5 hours on the second part. So 125 hours just to ink 16 pages. And then all of the coloring. So that's how long it takes me to put together a 16-page book. Do you think that's worth it? Do you think the interior pages deserve that much attention if the cover is the single selling point of the book? Or do you think the cover is there to draw the attention to the interior of the book? My back is killing me. So do you think spending 400 hours on the interior of the book is worth it? Do you read the books you buy? So I was just curious to know how important the interiors actually are in the modern collecting world. Am I spending 400 hours on the interior of a book for basically no reason? Can I just print a pinup book and call it a book and make the same amount of money and do like 1/8 of the work? Just curious if it's worth the time or not. Just let me know in the comments your thoughts on how important the interiors of the book actually are in today's collecting world. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.